Let's break down another multi-coyote harvest night in those high April fields in South Carolina. 80-degree weather this week, man. I got fertilized fields, a lot of rain this spring, and that growth has exploded. You're going to see it in the video. ATN Thor 4 384, 4.5 to 18. I got some good video here. You're going to see two coyotes together at some point in the high weeds. You're going to tell the height of that weeds. So I went down to an area where I seen a coyote the other night, and there was workers there on the farm, and there was a lot of traffic there. That field was empty, so I went to plan B, but I went to an area that I'm doing now in these high fields. I want to get to an area I can see farther. I don't necessarily call coyotes to that area right to where I'm within range, but I call them enough to see them or hear them and then make my move. That's what the key now is, to get in areas where I can see really far, 1,000 yards. I'm calling to see if I can get that howl, or they'll move in those high weeds. So I go out there and I put out Predator Tactics Ace Interrogation Howl, or I go to Icatech Po' Boy Howl. It's two male sounding howls, and I get responses in the woods that I can't hunt. Everything that responded with vocals was in the woods, but I seen 5 coyotes that night out in the fields. So they'll move in the fields, and that's what I'm looking for. I got my scanner out there, nice light scanner. I can haul around. You can helmet mount it if you want, but I really like it because it's nice and light. We'll go over all the controls on that on another video. But I'm up there to where I can see, and I catch that first one. We'll throw that first video up there. 500-600 yards down there, comes out into the area where I can see it. So now I know where that one is. The ones in the woods are responding to me, but they're a ways off. I think it's going to take a while for them to get to me. Coyotes have a lot of distractions right now, and they're not going to come a long ways because they're going to run into those grasshoppers, those crickets. Small rabbits are being born, small birds. You got the fawns dropping pretty soon. You'll actually see them coming towards you, but they get distracted, man. A bird will fly up. They'll start to eat on their way to you, and they don't make the whole journey. Another thing that distracts them, as you're going to see in the second video, is another coyote comes together, man. They're jumping in those high weeds to look at each other. I use those distractions to make moves on them. So now I go down there. When they chase each other down over the hill, I move in. I cut that distance in half, if not more, and I want to get in close and put my collar down. And that's when I move over to vole squeaks, birds, any type of bird distress. I want to pull them in that last little bit with a nice lower call rather than going loud like that. Rabbit sometime. Later on I'll get into the fawns, and that'll draw them a little bit farther. But I get down into that area where I seen them last together, and I put out vole squeaks, a little bit of bird, and next thing I know, that one comes up through there and gets distracted, starts to feed, gets in close enough, and bam, I hit that coyote, drop it in those high weeds. Takes me a little bit of time to find it, take some pictures, and then I go right back to those howls. I want to locate again. I want to either hear that howl and move toward it. I want to see them. So I'm down on the bottom, 500-600 yards away from where I called, and now I howl. Up on top I see one. I do not get a response from it. I move back up to the top now. Get back up into that area, take my time. I'm dragging that other coyote up there, and the same thing. Put my collar out, vole squeaks. Second one comes up through those woods, and drop that second one. It wouldn't stop for me right away, so I dropped those first two really quickly. Move down for one, move back up for the other one, and then we're going to go to another video here for the color phase one. But that's what I'm doing right now. That's the approach I'm taking. See long distances, call for that howl, see if I can make them move in those weeds. Then I move in. Man, I dropped those first two to get 2 on the board for the night. Thanks for watching, like, and subscribe. We're going to bring you a lot more. Try that in April. It's a little bit different now, man, when them weeds are higher. Let me know how good you do, and stay tuned for a lot more.